So now we're on posters, and I'm really excited to share with you my love of posters. I love a really powerful poster, and I've been really inspired by the work of Karita Ken, who, if you don't know her as an artist, she has inspired so many people in the world of graphic art. And so I will post some information about her in this module. In this poster design part of the course, I'm going to teach you how to design a really powerful poster, how to paint a poster, and how to do a silkscreen of a poster. So here I have two posters that I painted. I used acrylic and temper in them, and I like them because they're very bold and they really get people to kind of notice them. The whole piece of paper is filled up and they have a strong message on them. On these two posters over here in the plant trees, those are silkscreen posters, and I'm going to teach you both how to hand paint a poster and how to do a silkscreen of a poster. Posters are a wonderful way to get your message out into the world, and I can't wait to teach you the really exciting techniques that you can use to create a really vibrant and expressive poster that will get your message out into the world. So if we're going to talk about poster making, I really want to talk about color and color mixing. So if you think about our colors, right, I have my colors here on a plate. These are my primary colors. So I have my yellow, and I'm going to go through this so you can really think about when you're making your poster, how you can make it as bold and bright as you possibly can and very vibrant so people will see it. So you have your yellow, your red, and my water here, and my blue. So these are my primary colors, okay? So I'm just gonna write, let's see if this pen works. No, it doesn't. Okay, red, yellow, blue, primary. So red, yellow. I'm gonna do this very down and dirty for you so you get a sense. So these are our primaries, okay? If we mix the yellow and the red, we get, so I'm gonna show you, and I want you to practice. I'm gonna show you a project I want you to do if you have the time to do this. But if you just take a little bit of yellow, and you can see I'm just using a paper plate here as my palette, old paper plate, and I take a little drop of red. I don't need a lot of red to change my color. So that, maybe I need a little more red than that. So then I get like an orange, right? Maybe a little more yellow. And you can get messy when you do this. I'm just gonna show you neatly right now, but then I'm gonna show you about mixing colors in a deeper kind of way, or like more, how we can mix a lot of colors. So there's our orange, okay, right? So we mix those two together and we get orange. Now you might know this already, but I want to make sure, I want to talk you through some ideas for your posters. Then if you mix the blue and the red, right? So I'm going to take a little bit of blue, a little drop of red, mix those two together, take a little more red. And depending upon what primary colors you start with, it will affect what color you get when you're mixing. So there's my purple. Now I'm going to show you some ways to make your colors pop in different ways too in a minute. So then if I mix my red and my blue together, I get purple. And then if I mix my blue and my yellow together, like brush clean here. So my blue and my yellow, I take a little bit of, bit of yellow and a little bit of blue, mix it in, and I get a green. Can you see me doing that? Okay, so then I put my green here. Okay. So when you're making a poster, and this isn't a perfect, and like I said, I'm just doing this to give you guys a sense of, so you have a color wheel. This mine doesn't look like a wheel. I wasn't really paying attention. I could do it again, I guess. But I just wanted, so you have your primaries, The way that you get things to pop on the page is when you use the complement to your primary. So the complement to my yellow is right across the spectrum is the purple. So when you put a yellow and a purple next to each other, it really will pop for you on the page. I'm going to show you a little bit of this in a minute. When you put the opposite of the red is the green, those are complements right across. When you use those next to each other, it really pops up on your poster or on your image that you're making. And when you use the blue to the orange, these are my high school colors, that is the complements, okay? So you're going across the spectrum and you're getting your complements. So if you see, so this is our odd shaped color wheel, but you get the idea. And then if you put together, so I'm just gonna show you. So if I do my green, so I have the green, I'm just going to make a box for now just to, and then I do the red right next to it. You can see how it really makes the colors vibrate next to each other. See that? And then if I did my orange, my orange, and you can play with different kinds of oranges, different kinds of blues. And I put my blue next to it. See how those pop next to each other? So if I'm doing a poster, I'm going to show you in a minute. See that? And then we'll do the last. So these are my complementary colors. And then if I'm doing my purple, I love this purple. So to change this up, I haven't used any black and white yet. I might add a little bit of white to this purple, but for now, for this, I'm not going to. This purple is not my favorite. But you can make an infinite array of any of these colors, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. So my purple, and then remember the complement to my purple is yellow. So I'm going to get my yellow here. My yellow is the primary color, so I'm not mixing anything. I'm just, and you can see that really pop. Right, so we have our purple, yellow, red and green, blue and orange. So those are our complements. And if you think about it, when we're making a poster, let's see. Let's say I want to write vote, since that's our kind of theme for right now. If I want to be really, say I want to say vote hope, just for, so this is not very, I'm just going to show you about the complements now. V-O-T-E, right? And then can you guess what color I could put around this to make it very, so the vote would really pop out? So if you guess green, you would be right, because my green is my complement to my red. So I have my, and I might make my green, I might add a little bit of white to my green. So I have my white over here. Put it. So it's green, but I'm knocking it back a little bit with some white. Add a little more yellow. Maybe I'll add a little more white. This is how you can kind of play with your colors. Okay, so I like that green. That's a pretty green. Do you see that? And then what I might do is just paint around my red letters. Now I might let this dry. I'm just showing you this to give you an idea, but ideally I'd probably let my vote dry so I wouldn't mix up the two colors. But when you mix the two colors, some interesting stuff happens too, and I would love you to play around with mixing your colors so you see what happens when you play around with mixing a lot of different colors.
Okay, so you see how the red pops out from that because you're using green. I can do a lighter green down here. Oh, see, so got a little bit of red in there because I didn't let it dry completely. But with acrylic, you can, right when it's done drying, you can go right back over and just paint over it, and it will come, you won't even see the streaks. Sometimes I like that streaky look. I don't know if, you could decide on your poster if you want it to be more flat. There you go. So there's Vote. You can see how that really, and I could also play around with making it a much lighter green, but you can see how that complement really starts to vibrate those colors together. So you want to think about, when you're making your poster, about what colors you're using, how to use color to make your image pop. If I want to add over here, so say I wanted to say Vote Hope. This is what I'm thinking a lot about lately. So I'm using blue in the middle here for my letters. So then what would be my complement? Do you remember? Before I start painting it, think about what would be my complement to my blue. I need more of my yellow. Sometimes what happens is your palette starts to get really messy, and that's fine. Messy is good. Messy means that you're just doing your work. Okay, so if you guessed orange, you're right, because I want to do orange. So again, I have the orange here from before. I'm gonna add a little more yellow to it, so it's a lighter orange. You see that there? I'm just mixing it up. And then, so it's almost like a yellowish orange, but I kind of like that. And then that will make my, I want to make it a little more orangey, I think, so it really pops. It's a little too yellow for me. There we go. See that change in the color? So you can play around with this and doing posters with, big letters and your complementary colors. You can have images, you can have shapes that mean something. Really let your imagination go and see what you can come up with. And it doesn't have to be for something political. It could be something about the environment, or maybe you're just running for class president, or you have something in your neighborhood, you want to have a book drive or something. Making a bright, bold poster can really get people's attention. And you can see, you can kind of play. So I might go back when this is dry and brighten it up a little bit, because I'm getting a little bit, my colors are mixing up a little bit because the blue is still wet. See that? That's okay. Sometimes it looks kind of good. And then if I wanted, I could do something that goes all the way around. I could even do a black. So I have my black over here. Sometimes if I want things to really pop, I'll just add some black. I think you guys can see that. See how that black just pops it out? So you have your complements, and then you don't need black, but you can do it if you want. If you want to add a little bit of oomph to your I'm using acrylic paint. I find that acrylic works the best for posters because, you know, if it rains, it gets wet, nothing will happen to it. You can do acrylic on cardboard, poster board. I'm just using regular paper in my sketchbook right now to show you. Anything that you have, save cardboard boxes and cut them up and use those for posters. So there is my Vote Hope. I don't know if you can see it. And you see how those colors just pop because they're the complements. So if you want to continue playing around with mixing colors, I will do a separate video where I really talk you through about mixing colors. But for now, just play around with your complementary colors. Like I said, they're the colors that go across the spectrum. So yellow and purple, orange and blue, blue and orange, green and red. Here they are again, like that. Okay, start making your posters.